Hello gamers and welcome back to NeueCraft, my first ever private SMP server here on Minecraft 1.18. And so, last episode, we built this wondrous trading hall with all these new villages. Well, some of them are new. Most of these guys I actually transported like nearly 1,000 blocks from the other side of the valley where my starter base was, over to the new base here via underground railway, and filled them out with a bunch of new guys. And since I've been getting organised, each of these is slowly getting fleshed out. He doesn't have one yet, with different books, and I've just been naming everything, getting it all organised so that whenever I need to restock my shop, I can just pick up a couple of these shulkers and it should be labelled, and I can easily figure out which one's which, restock at the other end, bring it all back, put it back down in the right places, and trade to my heart's consent. And I've been at the raid farm. I don't know if I mentioned before, I helped French fix his stacking raid farm because it was a little bit broken, and in return I got access to that, so effectively I have infinite emeralds now and I don't have to worry about trading too much to get those. I still need to do a bit of trading this side to skill up some of these farmers in particular, but everything else I think is all leveled up. We'll go and check out Harlock's village later as well, where I built the bridge over the other side, because that's been coming on amazingly. And in fact, Harlock's efforts with his villages have inspired me a little bit to do something this episode, something I've been meaning to start for some time. So, let's take a little look at our base here from afar. I do love this base, but it is a monolith in that it is kind of on its own, and I've got this river that I made that comes out of the dragon's mouth, that comes from the very top of the base and runs all the way down and lands and comes all the way in here, and then this river in turn feeds all the way through the landscape, and it sort of acts as a dividing line really between Harlock land over here and Darkjon land over here. I haven't done much with this land. I cleared some trees and I lit it all up. Some torches, some hidden lighting. But what I kind of want to do is make this a bit more interesting today. And we're going to try a couple of different things. So I have some ideas. I'm not sure which ones are going to work and which ones are not. But there's some landscaping that needs to be done. There's a big hole over there that leads into a massive cave system I need to plug. I kind of want to build my own village that are the people who built the temple. I want that to sort of span all the way around here and probably across the other side as well. So this is going to be like a hill tribe. They're going to be hill people who mostly live up in the hills, and then these plains down in the front here is where we're going to have some farms, not dissimilar to what Harlock has done here. So how am I going to kick-start this off? I think we're going to start by doing a little landscaping here, and we're just going to fill in this horrible hole, because this goes into a big old cave system, and yeah, I don't want it. Definitely don't want to go down there. So I'm going to grab some materials. We're going to fill in that hole first thing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you infill in Minecraft. That's how I infill in Minecraft, at least. I much prefer doing things this way. And yeah, look at that. It's gone, it's filled in properly. I can build on this, I can dig away, I can re-landscape and take chunks out of this, which I'm probably going to want to do, and not be afraid of how it's going to fall away underneath me. Whenever I fill in holes in Minecraft, this is what I do. Okay, so now I think we're going to have a little go at putting in some houses in here, getting in our hill village. I kind of want them to feel a bit embedded in the mountainside, not too freestanding, kind of like my temple itself, like an extension of that, but on a really mini scale and kind of colourful. And we'll start with houses and see how we go from there, and think about whether the farmland is going to fit after the fact. So, let's hop into a time lapse and stick some of these in. Okay, there's the beginning of my little village, nestled in the hillside, right next to my base. And what a colourful thing it is! I wanted to make this fairly unique and have a life unto itself, something pretty different to anything I've done before, and for it to have a lot of its own identity. Now, I've gone for quite a few sort of diagonal buildings. The common theme is they're all sort of embedded in the hillside in some form or another, but each one is unique and it uses its own set of materials. There's lots of different types of terracottas in particular, and they're all very colourful. So I'm enjoying it a lot. I've done a lot of the interiors. So yeah, this guy's got some interiors. We were going to do this on the item frames in places, so to put some stuff on the tables like so, and then yeah, these have even got little upstairs. Am I getting stuck on there? And yeah, little bedrooms up here, even with a little clock. Very colourful inside, and I've still got an interior or two to do. I don't think this guy's got one yet, has he? Yeah, he's a little bit bland right now, but a lot of the others have, and they're looking lovely. So we're going to keep on fleshing this out over time. Seems to have got a wandering trader stuck in here. Even got some little like clothes on the rack here for this person who lives in this little abode. Quite enjoying the diagonal door approach there. And this one's like a little multi-level home. So yeah, in here we've got a dining table with some drinks and a little kitchen area over here. And then we can even go upstairs to the second area where we've got the bedroom and some flowers, and then that comes out here onto a balcony which goes across the front, and that in turn links up here to this little stairway to this house, which has the beginnings of an interior as well, and some artwork on the wall, and it has a downstairs dining room down here as well. So yeah, loving it. I think we're going to want to grow this a little bit more. Imagine that this is sort of going all the way around the hillside here, and maybe even up here a little bit. So over time, we'll come back here and we'll work on it piece by piece, and I might explore that idea of putting in some farmland down in the front of it here as well. So this is where the people who live in this village would harvest their crops. And this river sort of marks the dividing line between the two villages on the different sides of the river. Basically, over this side we have Harlock's village, and also over there, and then this side of the river will all be occupied by the people who live in my village, all the way up to the bridge coming up to here. I think Harlock's made some pretty good progress on his build over here. Everything is starting to look really fantastic. The big build, look at this. Harlock, this is stunning, absolutely stunning. I love it. And I like how he tied the walkway all the way through the entire thing as well. Now, knowing Harlock, he's going to do a whole bunch of interiors, but we'll forgive him for not having done those yet, because just look at the outside of these places. It's stunning. So stunning. Love that guy's work. So now we've actually moved all our villages, we no longer need the trading hall, so I'm stripping it down, taking it right down to the bare minimum, and we're going to restore the landscape here. And underground I'm just going to be putting a little access hatch here to get into this empty room, but mostly for these farms access, which I still do need, but this will all be underground. So I'm going to finish off demolishing this guy, and then we can make the landscape look all natural and pretty again. So the building is gone, and we're just left with a bit of a dirty hole in the ground. So we're just going to do a little quick whoop and alley-oop. We have a nice, tidy, slightly landscaped area where there once was a trading hall, and now there's just a really simple little shack that leads down to the farms. Nice, mostly underground, minimized the upstairs, and I haven't left my way out of this door, so I'm going to sort that out, and then we're done. There we go, finito. And the whole area looks a lot tidier. Excellent. So we're out here at my magma farm. Created this guy to get all the magma cream we needed for all the potions a couple of episodes ago. Very efficient farm, as you can see. It's an awful lot of these guys. And you just sort of sit here with an autoclicker swiping away with a looting sword, and you get tons and tons and tons of magma cream and the heads, of course. And I'm AFKing here because, as you can see, French is building something. He's building a sort of nether hub of sorts. So there's a couple of people out here. I think Sol and French and French's sister, Ayu, is all in this area, and they're building a castle wall around the portals and an enclosure to sort of define their little space there, which is interesting. So I'm going to be taking this farm, or they're going to be taking this farm down for me, but get it out of their way. But in the meantime, we're just stocking up on this, so we'll have more than enough magma cream than we'll ever need. There are several layers of double chests under here, so I'm going to go get some shulker boxes, transport it, and we're going to break all of these and fill them up. Now, I did previously have magma cream in my box storage silo here, but I sort of had a rethink about what this is actually for, and it should only be for things that are getting automatically inputted into the storage system that I have tons of and overflow. If it's just something I've got a lot of, and something like the magma cream, which was here, then there's no need to keep it there because there's never going to be any more coming in, really. So I've started stashing some of that excess stuff under here. So we've got a whole double chest of shulkers full of magma creams in here, and we've got a little bit of excess upstairs as well. I'll do the same with my blaze rods, and yeah, I'm always just going to be bringing in shulkers of blaze rods externally, so there's no point taking shulkers and like offloading them and putting into this system to put them back into shulkers to end up in here. So I might do the same with the prismarine things, but all the other stuff should be coming in, you know, not in shulkers, into the system either automatically or manually, and filling up bit by bit. So yeah, just got a little bit of overflow, other storage items under the stairs there for the time being. So the more I've been thinking about my Netherwart farm situation, the more I'm thinking, if I put a farm here, it's more than likely going to be decorative only. Like, I wouldn't make it functional as well, just because I couldn't get the scale I wanted. So it would be enormous. And in such an open and varied terrain environment, replanting would be a pain, because Netherwart can only be done manually. Very annoying. And I need Netherwart for my brewing setup. We, of course, have our absolutely monstrous brewing machine set up down here, so we can auto brew every potion in the game. However, the vast majority of these need Netherwart, right? So they're all empty right now. In order to actually be able to brew them. And let's go check on our Netherwart supplies up the back here, which should be here. That's spider eyes. Netherwart. Here we go. So we have, yeah, half a chest, half a shulker. Not very much, and the only Netherwart farm I have to date is an itty bitty little one over here. As far as I'm aware, I'm one of the few people actually with the Netherwart farm on the server, but it's tiny. I made it a long time ago, and I really just made it for incidental brewing now and again. It's not going to cope with what I need. As far as I can remember, we only get like maybe 2 stacks at a time profit from this guy. Not a lot. Here it is. So yeah, it's really small. It's just these 2 levels, and yeah, it collects everything and comes down here. We've got a little bit of overflow I'll take with, but this needs to be scaled up if we're going to maintain our potion brewing empire and continue to have things to sell in the potion shop. So we need a Netherwart farm at a scale not seen before on this server. So where on earth do we put such a thing? So underneath the base is what I'm thinking. We have a lot of room under here, of course. So yeah, down here we've put all of this. But the question still remains, what do we put under all of this? Like, I began to dig out more of the front. I think this is roughly the lower level, maybe not even the ground level. Yeah, so there's the tunnel. So there's actually a level sort of beneath this. You can see here the original line of the cliff that I built into. And it goes down further down here, down to where my dragon heads are outside. And so, in theory, we could put it underneath here. So let's use our new camera mod here to just like peek inside the base for a minute, and we'll fly inside and see what is there. Yeah, so this level where the portal is outside is the lowest I've dug down inside my base currently. Literally the lowest level here. However, yeah, that stuff goes underground quite a bit with the potions. Underneath that, there is nothing really. All the way down here is the tunnel between Grey's base and mine. We don't need to go anywhere near this low. We've got all this space in between, which we could use in theory. Yeah, we've just got to be careful of that railway line, but we can always move that if we need to. There's some big old caves under here we might want to try and avoid bumping into. And some lava pools apparently. However, there's a lot of space here to do stuff with that we could definitely make use of. And I was even thinking, what if there was some way of seeing into this Netherwart farm from the outside? What if this bit of grass, like right here, was actually glass, and we put the farm down at this level and it all harvested in one direction or another, but it was visible from the outside? That could be quite cool. So that's the kind of thinking. I'm gonna go. Well, my tools are all healed up. I think we're ready to start digging. I think that's going to be the first thing, to carve out a little bit of a space under here and see how much room we think we're going to need for this. Oof. And we are done. Check this out. There is now a pretty big hole dug underneath the base in a big tiered fashion. So this is a pretty substantial looking farm we could put in here. If we wanted, we could go further and dig more into the cave here. There's a couple of caves back here I wanted to fill in. So if we wanted to make it bigger, we could, but I'm not sure we need to. This is ample big. So next stage is Netherwart it up. So we need to cover this entire surface in Netherwart. And of course, for Netherwart to grow, we need soul sands, I think, soul sands. So we've got to go get ourselves a whole bunch of soul sand, and we can use that to fill up the floor in here. We're going to have rows of 2 with a solid something in between, a differentiator along there. And then we're going to have water and trapdoors across the back, I believe, with the required redstone. And that's going to just wash everything all the way down to the very end. And then we'll have water streams coming in here with ice and a collection system at the end. So we should get a pretty healthy amount of material out of this, is the plan. Next step, we need to go to the Nether, get that soul sand. this Netherwart farm is just about done, and I've sorted out some access to and from it as well. So from this level, I put this staircase in previously, I don't think I talked about it, but this comes up from this level where we've got space to put in something in the future. I just wanted to make all levels a bit more accessible, because this is going sort of deep down into the base. And while I was waiting for this first batch of wart to grow up, just did a bit more decoration around here. Could still do with some tidying up in places, but it's looking pretty good, I think. Especially underneath here, and a bit more netherrack in the walls. We've got our waterlogged blocks behind these trapdoors. That's a bit of a... Oh no, I installed these new trapdoor textures that makes them sort of 3D. I wondered why that looked weird, but that's clearly why. And we just got a simple line of redstone that gets boosted all the way along the back there. So just a little bit more time to go until this is all fully grown, and then we can give it a first test. I do need to get a bit more sophisticated perhaps about this. I've just got a switch right now. I don't think I need to make that more sophisticated. For the time being, I've simply put some hoppers down at the end. And we're going to have a bit more of a sophisticated collection system here, so we need to figure out where we want it to go. And we shall transport it automatically, so I don't... I'm going to need to transport it back somewhere nearby, because when I do harvest all of this, I am of course going to need to collect a lot of it back up to replant. So that's something to consider. So I've just torn out a little bit of this ground here, just to see what it would look like. I'm using... is it cyan stained glass here, and it's not too bad, Let's just take a little step back. It's interesting. I'm just thinking as I'm flying over, how's it going to look? It's going to be red down there. You'll be able to see in. There's something interesting about it. Definitely gives it a different feel. So what does it look like from underneath as well? It's definitely cool from underneath. Let's extra light in. Gets rid of this dirt, which I wasn't too keen on. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I think we're about ready for the first test of this thing. Let's get a good viewing position. Go! Woohoo! Oh no, something's not quite right at the end there. Oh no, that was just visual lag. We're all good. It does work, and everything should be harvested and pushed down to the bottom. So let's go and turn this off. Fly on down to our hoppers down at the very end, and we'll see exactly how much we get. Nearly 13 stacks of Netherwart from that. So I'm going to replant now, and we'll see if that fills everything up. And we're out. We didn't have enough. Wow. It looks like it's probably going to take, so that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It takes about 18 stacks of Netherwart here to fill this thing. So I've been busy doing all of the redstone shenanigans. It took a while, and this is almost completely grown again. But I'm ready to test it, so I'm not going to wait for the last few pieces to grow there. I'm just going to get on with it. So, what have we done? We have, I need to put this here to start with. And yeah, we've got some nice little hidden bits of redstone going on under here. Let me explain what's going to happen. So, let's hop into free cam mode. So what I did was the gully at the end here, I reversed the direction of the slope. So now this is the high end, and the ice road path comes all the way down here. I also added signs up here because I was finding the water wasn't always pushing stuff right over the edge. It was kind of getting stuck on the end. I hope that will resolve that. And yeah, it all comes down into here, and then we've got our first bubble column. Taking it up, and I also had to go around the edge of the wall, and then up again over here, and all the way down to here where I'm currently standing. And we've got a whole bunch of hoppers here. The idea being that they there's enough of them so that we don't totally overwhelm the system as much as possible. There's, what, 6 hoppers here, 3 of which are pointing into the chest, so we've got triple hopper speed offloading into the chest itself. And hopefully that's enough hoppers to capture them all. We'll see, without them sort of accumulating and despawning. And yeah, then they will go into this chest, and this will be my replanting chest. So I want to keep this full. So what I'm just dropping taking the signal out of the chest here, comparing it to a redstone block. So when it is full, it will match that signal strength and send a pulse down here, turning off this torch, which allows the hoppers underneath to suck out the items. And then there's a self-powered dropper here that goes into another water stream, which takes it all the way up here, across and over. And then we've got some more hoppers over here, which connect up to the same hopper system here from my railway delivery system. So yeah, this does the same thing. Goes into here, and what do we have? We have another water stream, don't we? Here it is. Yep. So those come into a dropper here, and that dropper goes into that water stream, and that water stream comes up here, which is the way into the storage system, and that goes into a dropper elevator, which goes into the storage, the main storage, and tries to put it in its place, which is over here in this chest. And if it doesn't fit, then it goes all the way over here, down here, and into bulk overflow storage, where I have added a entry here. I don't think these signs are going to render because I'm too far away from them, but one of these is a Netherwart filter, and so we'll be stocking up on Netherwart in shulker boxes here. So we're going to keep one double chest down here, and the rest is all going to overflow into bulk storage. Exactly what bulk storage was designed to do. So we're going to give this a whirl. It's not going to be a totally 100% representation of what we're going to get, but it's going to nearly be there. So let's give it a whirl. Woohoo! Look at that Netherwart go. So that should all get pushed to the end. It should all go over the edge. Excellent. That looks good. And any minute now, we should see that starting to flow in over here. Fingers crossed. There we go. Fantastic. Look at it go. Nice. It's coming in little bits. Oh, it is getting overwhelmed. I might need to put a few extra hoppers in here. This should be going in there pretty fast. Superb. So as long as this all gets collected in less than 5 minutes, wow, all of those hoppers got completely saturated to the point where it couldn't take any more. That's a lot of Netherwart. So I'm just going to let this accumulate, and we'll see how much we get. Ooh. Nice. That's just under, that's 39.5 stacks, just nearly 40. So we could probably say, yes, we get about 40 stacks from this as a harvest, which isn't bad at all. So next time we do this, it should overflow, and then we'll see that stuff starting to go into bulk storage and getting stored. So I think that's mission successful. I'm going to replant this right now, and yeah, we'll have to wait till another time to test the overflow stuff, but I'm pretty confident that's all going to work just fine. So I'm happy with that. Alright, so I think we can leave that one here for today. We have an awful lot of Netherwart whenever we need it now, which is great. So our potion brewing setup bottleneck it should no longer be an issue, hopefully. We'll see, but I'm going to keep harvesting away at this. This takes nearly 5 minutes to replant the whole thing in the most efficient way I could figure out, at least. So yeah, I don't want to be doing it too often, but I won't need to if I do this right. However, I would like to just build up some reserves, so for the time being I'm going to keep harvesting this and making sure I've got a good couple of shulkers of overflow, just in case I need them. And yeah, then I can just sort of harvest this on demand as and when I need to make more potions. Awesome! So yeah, pretty productive episode. I hope you really did enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed the village stuff as well. I'm looking forward to continuing and doing more of that and getting it to a really great place. If you did enjoy this video, then please do give us a like. if you want to see more of what we get up to in this world, then please subscribe. Okay, we'll see you next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.